Andrew Tucker, and welcome to Andrew Tucker World. What's going on, all my great people? What's going on, all my boxing fans? Much love and respect to the entire Tucker Army, the entire UK Army, all of my brothers and sisters, all the kings and queens from all around the world. I love you guys. This is going to be a quick video. I just want to say that congratulations to Alexander Usyk. He retains the IBF, WBA, WBO, and also now adding to the collection is the Reign Magazine Heavyweight Championships. Congratulations to Alexander Usyk, a great fighter. He went in there against another great fighter in Anthony Joshua. I know a lot of people, it's a lot of toxic boxing fans. So I understand Anthony Joshua's frustration. He hear it coming from the media. He hear it coming from social media. He hear it coming from toxic boxing fans. And it's like they dismiss what he was able to do in the sport of boxing, how he brought, other than Deontay Wilder and a lot of other great heavyweights, before them, Tyson Fury. But Joshua was that one guy that brought life back to the heavyweight division. And that took it to a whole nother level. It's a lot of great heavyweights. Like I mentioned, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz Jr., Joseph Parker, Dillian White, Joe Joyce, Louis King Kong Ortiz. It's a lot of great heavyweights. You know what I mean? I got a lot of love and respect for all the top 15 heavyweights, and we got a lot of great heavyweights that's on the rise. You know what I mean? That's pretty much going to be the future of the heavyweight division, like Gerald Anderson, I believe that's his name, Big Baby, Gerard Anderson, I believe. Forgive me if I'm jacking up his name or I'm not saying his name correctly, but Filip Hrgović, he got a little bit more room to improve and make some adjustments and grow in some areas, perfect his craft in some areas, but he's going to be all right. But I believe I felt he lost in a very close fight against Zhilei Zhang. I knew against the experienced veteran, very crafty and a difficult style like Zhilei Zhang. I knew that Filip Hrgović was going to have a tough fight on his hands. But I thought he was going to knock out or stop Zhilei Zhang. But, Zhang is tough. But, the main event was a great fight. I missed the other fights. I missed the Callum Smith fight. But, Alexander Usyk is a great fighter, a superior, pure boxer puncher, elite level fighter. And he went in there against another elite level fighter. Joshua has gotten better as a fighter, and I understand his frustration, dealing with the toxic boxing fans, always having something negative to say, the media always having something negative to say, even the YouTube boxing community, certain channels and certain group of boxing fans, it's like they dismiss what he was able to accomplish in the sport of boxing, being a two-division, but being a two-time unified heavyweight champion. I guess we dismissed that he was able to come back against Andy Ruiz Jr. and outbox him, displaying great boxing, and showing that it's the sweet science. It's not just always about knockouts. It's also about the sweet science. And outbox and the very dangerous boxer puncher in Andy Ruiz Jr. You know what I mean? People saying Andy Ruiz Jr. is not a great fighter. He wasn't nothing. Joshua wasn't supposed to lose to him. But which we talking about, if you follow a fighter's career, or if you do film study and you pay attention, you observe, you analyze, and if you're able to recognize the skill and not just the potential, but the skill of a fighter. Us real hardcore boxing fans, us real boxing fans, we pay attention to the skill set of a fighter. We pay attention to what they are great at and what they need to work on, what they need to perfect, what they need to get better at, what they need to improve on. Joshua has gotten better as a fighter, and he's still a problem for a lot of other heavyweights. Um, it's just that Usyk is slightly the superior fighter, slightly the better fighter between the two. I feel that it was if it was maybe one or two mistakes Joshua made that cost him the fight, because he could have won this fight. I scored it. It was another close fight. It was closer than a lot of people. Um, it was closer than it was closer than what a lot of people expected, or what some people may have viewed or saw with their eyes. I don't know if they considered. I don't know if they consider punches being blocked. I don't know if you count punches that's being blocked, but I see every punch that's accurate, every punch that is effective, every punch that land, every punch that is avoided, uh, and every punch that land, every punch that's avoided or blocked or not accurate, or don't land. So I know that it was a close fight. Joshua had the right game plan. I just think that he slightly abandoned the game plan, and it was due to the fact that Alexander Usyk most definitely uh, set some traps, and Joshua felt in those traps. And I think slightly when it comes to conditioning, both fighters were in great shape. I just felt that Usyk's conditioning was slightly a little better. And some people gonna honestly say, well, he's smaller, but he's also older. He's 35 years old, and sometimes age ain't nothing but a number. But when Joshua's 32, Usyk's 35, so it's just the conditioning was a little better. You know what I mean? But they were both in great shape. They was able to go 12. It was a great fight. Joshua improved and made the necessary adjustments. I like what Robert Garcia was able to do. Like my co-host, the J. Roos Theory, was saying that maybe James Ali Bashir would have slightly had a better game plan, knowing the style of Usyk. But Usyk even got better and switched up, a little bit. He's even got better, from the first fight. Joshua got better from the first fight. Got better. He was a lot better than he was in the first fight. Usyk was slightly a little better than he was in the first fight. But Usyk is a great fighter. Congratulations to him. Unified heavyweight champion, 2-division world champion, and he has to be now he has to be number one pound for pound fighter in the world right now. Alexander Usyk. I still got Terrence Crawford up there. It's like really between Terrence Crawford and Alexander Usyk. You guys determine on who you think is number one. But when it comes to ESPN, or when it comes to Rain Magazine, or when it comes to whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure some people now have Usyk as number one pound for pound. But he's a great fighter. I got so much love and respect for Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua. I understand Joshua's frustration with just a lot of negative feedback. People saying he wasn't this, saying he wasn't that. He's a hype job. He was overrated and things of that nature. Just the negativity and the toxic boxing fans, that just don't want to give these fighters their credit. Even when they become undisputed, they don't want to. They still want to call themselves holding the fighter accountable, or saying a fighter didn't do this, a fighter didn't do that, or a fighter's not that good, he's going to get exposed. But they made it to a certain level where they became undisputed, or they became unified. It's a long process from being an amateur. Some fighters don't go the Olympic route. You know, some fighters win a couple of games, have long amateur records, win a couple of games, go into the Olympics, become professional. It's a long process. And they was able to win so many fights and accomplish their goals, becoming champion. And you guys want to dismiss that and discredit that, and you want to throw dirt in a fighter's name, call them a hype job, call them a bomb, saying they was overrated, they was never this and never that. But you guys don't know anything and never stepped in the ring, don't have the experience. Some of you guys, a high percentage of you guys. So I understand Joshua's frustration, you know, but Joshua can bounce back. He's still a great fighter, and he's improved a whole lot. He can most definitely bounce back, and he can most definitely win his his next couple of fights. You know, Usyk is going to be great. You know, if he can't get a fight with Fury, I heard he's thinking about retiring. I hope he don't retire. I hope that Fury goes on to fight Alexander Usyk, and it's a 50-50 fight slightly for me, but I think Fury can probably edge that fight when become undisputed, and maybe Fury goes to fight Joshua and then retires. You guys let me know how you feel about this situation regarding Anthony Joshua pretty much speaking his mind and lashing out, you know, after the fight and things of that nature. I completely understand Joshua. You know, I completely understand my great brother. I completely understand. But Alexander Usyk was the better man and both of those guys are still two of some of my favorite fighters. Much love and respect to both of those warriors, both of those gladiators. It was a great fight. I love you guys. Alexander Usyk, Joshua, love you guys. You guys put on a great performance. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. 7-5 for Alexander Usyk. He retains the title. Joshua has gotten better as a fighter. He can most definitely bounce back and win a couple of fights. Even still, it's still young and still has the opportunity to become undisputed. It's never too late. Never count a fighter out. I would never do it. And I would never, as far as the negativity in the YouTube boxing community, the drama, the tearing down fighters, the disrespecting fighters, if you're going to be with all that, don't come to my channel. Don't come to my channel, because I'm not going to be with it. You know, I put God first. God comes first. And it's nothing but love and respect over here. Andrew Tucker World. I'm out. Much love and respect.